What's going on, everybody? I see we have a few people that were waiting right before the show got started, but we're gonna get everybody in. We're gonna get everything going. What's up, Al? How's it going? And we do have some breaking news, so we're gonna have to switch up the title just a little bit. But we're definitely gonna talk about it. Let a few more people pile in as we get ready to get this show started, and we're gonna definitely have some fun with that. I see LGRW, what's going on? Titan Mafia, what's up? Terrence Young is in here. Zach Carpenter, what's up? I see, Titan Upload up in here. So we are about to get ready to get started. I make sure y'all spread the word, share the show, let everybody know that we are here, and and we're gonna be ready to rock and roll. So let's get this road on the show.
Titans up, Titans up. I've been scoping from the sideline, waiting for the right time to sing the versus team that's scrimmage. So I'm busting y'all. Welcome to Nashville. We got this hit. Don't worry about it. We got this hit. Kansas City, so out your loud hit. Don't worry about it. See, we got this hit. It's a brand new dance and it's about to live. Tighten up, Nashville, rep the 615. Tighten two step to the right. Then you tighten two step to the left. Blue jersey everywhere. Yeah, we got it all sticking out our chest. Beating on it like it's King Kong. It's about to gear up. Come the train, y'all. See, tighten up. Let's get tightened up. Tighten up. Let's get tightened up. Sticking out my chest. Beating on it like it's King Kong. Sticking out my chest. Beating on it like it's King Kong. Tighten two step to the right. Then get tighten two step to the left. Sticking out my chest. Beating on it like it's King Kong. Sticking out my chest. Beating on it like it's King Kong. Third down. Now we about to shut down.
Good evening, Titan Nation. Beautiful and amazing day. Welcome into Titans and Truth. I'm your man, Chris, aka Blue Enforcer, and we're going to have one fun episode on this evening. And so, glad to get everybody in here, and we're definitely going to have a really good time on this show. We got. Yes, indeed. Titan Upload said, let's go. Got an early Christmas present. That we did. That we did indeed. And I mean, this is gonna be a whole bunch of fun right here because the big news. And before we do get into that, of course, y'all make sure y'all share this show out. Make sure you share the show out on that arrow. Make sure we get some likes up and some loves. Definitely want to get at least 20 likes on the show. And I see we got about 18 people viewing it. So if everybody could please hit that like button for me, hit it up hard. And we're definitely going to get into the great news of the day. Remember, make sure y'all follow on Facebook at TNT Enforcers, on Instagram at Titans_in_truth, and also on Twitter at TNT Blue Enforcer as you see it going across the screen at the bottom. But let's get into the Titan news of the week, and I would say news of the day, as I mean, you see this face, you're going to get to enjoy this face, and those numbers are a long time because, I mean, today was a good day indeed as the Tennessee Titans break some news as the Titans reach a deal with Derrick Henry on a 4-year, $50 million contract extension. And this all came together today. This all came together within, I would say, by around 1:30 this afternoon, all of this really started to pick up steam. Excuse me for that. But all of that really started picking up steam, excuse me, around about 1:30 this afternoon. And it was reported yesterday morning that Adam Schefter was not was saying that the Titans and Derrick Henry were not going to be able to reach a deal ahead of today's deadline. So it looked like they were just going to let Henry play on a franchise tag, and they will franchise tag him again probably next season. But then today comes around, and even though I know everybody was upset and everybody was just, was not liking the fact that the Titans were not paying Derrick Henry, lo and behold, the news comes out saying Jay Glazer saying a 4-year deal. I believe Ian Rappaport might have mentioned that the Titans and Derrick Henry are working to reach a deal before the deadline, which they have. So it is done. 4 years, $50 million contract extension, $25.5 million guaranteed money. And so that comes out to around $12.5 million a year. So, we're waiting to see if there's a signing bonus amount or anything like that. But with that $25 million guaranteed, it's basically a 2-year deal. And we got to get out of it. I know everybody's talking about my title because, look, I started putting this show together yesterday and the other night, and that was when the word came out that it didn't look like the Titans and Derrick Henry weren't going to reach a deal. So don't worry, I will change the title. I will probably change the title once I will change the title once the show is over and get everything taken care of. So I'll be able to, of course, have the correct title of Derrick Henry getting a deal. But at the time, it looked like there was not going to be a deal. So, I was going to talk about, did the Titans make a mistake or did the Titans make the right move? What's up, Sin City Titans? What's up, Titans Torch? I see everybody in here. Paris Sharkey, what's going on? I see Derek Roberts, AZ Mick, Joe Cadorzo, what's going on? DO9, good to see you back. Tony Joe, welcome in. So we're glad to have everybody here. Billy Scott, everybody up in here. King Isaac, I hadn't seen you in a minute. Glad to have you back. And so it's a good day. It's a good day. The Titans got the deal done. Derrick Henry is still in the fold and will stay in the fold for the very foreseeable future as a Tennessee Titans player. Again, 4 years, $50 million contract extension, $25.5 million guaranteed. What's up, Ryan Tannegoat? So, that's a big deal. And it's a team-friendly deal as well. So it basically makes it so that they're not strapped for cash. They're giving them an extra, about almost an extra $2.5 million this year because he already signed the tender for 10.4 or 10.7 million this year. And so now he's going to be making around 12.5 on that. So we're going to see what the cap number is going to be. That is, that's a very good thing on that. And I see Titan Upload says, at least you didn't make a video, no deal like I did. did say hopefully what happened. So yes. And I give credit to Titan Upload because me and Titan Upload, we were on with Mr. Titan the other night. And I was saying how you're thinking about the market, you're thinking about the running back market, and that most running backs, when they get the big money, they tend to slack off. And he happily disagreed with me, which I'm good with that. We agreed to disagree. So that is something that, I'm glad it happened. I'm glad Derrick Henry got his money, and it is well deserved. And so now you got Tannehill and Derrick Henry locked up. You got Tannehill and Henry locked up. So that is something that's going to be very important going on in the near future. And so I like it. I like it a lot. I'm happy that they got it done. And now we can move on. And, I know a lot of people are talking about Clowney now, but we'll get into that in just a bit because there was some big news that came out of there. I see Derek Roberts said, no Clowney for us. It seems trade away Casey for nothing. Don't care about no low-round draft pick. We're going to see about that. We're definitely going to see about that. Titan Torch says, Chef Boyard Chris. Yeah, I do some cooking in the kitchen. That much is a fact. Terrence Young says Titans kept it quiet. J-Rob kept it quiet. If you know J-Rob treads softly. He treads softly and he doesn't say much until it is done. Then he comes out with the news. So Titan Upload says Hope Clowney is next. And that's what I'm hoping for too. Big old Titan comes in. What's up, Big old Titan? Says, long live the king. And Sin City Titan says, Titans good at keeping contract details under wraps. So that could be a sense of what could happen in the near future when it does come to that. So I'm happy that they got the deal done. I'm glad I got to be wrong on that because, yep, the title of the show was going to say no deal for Henry, but we will change that as Derrick Henry did get the deal. Mr. Titan is in the building, says, Mr. Titan, official water boy, and the show is going to rock. We hope so, but shout out to Mr. Titan and everything. And also to Titan's Torch, who, of course, now says, Ryan Tannehill, 10th highest paid quarterback, Henry, 5th highest paid running back. Even if the cap doesn't change, that's pretty good deals. I do agree with that. I mean, they're very team-friendly deals. They're very team-friendly deals indeed. And as you can tell, another guy that did not get paid is one Dak Prescott. And so we're definitely going to find out what happens with that with Dallas. He gets $30 million. He gets $34 million on that exclusive franchise tag. And so Jeffrey Freeman comes in and says, Tanny and Henry for 4 years, AJ for at least another 3. We're in good shape. I agree. Derek says, I don't think Derrick Henry will slack off. Just got to hit the ground running fast. First half of the season, he can repeat rushing title. That's true. And Joe comes up with a great point, which we'll be moving into our next point in just a moment. Cap means nothing. Chiefs have no money but sign Jones and Mahomes for billions of dollars. And that's actually where we're going to be going next in just a moment. But I could tell that everybody is really loving the contract right now with Derrick Henry. And Ty Double, you're the man. We good on that. It's all good. It's all fun. I do agree with that. So, yeah, definitely not a bad deal for us. I really like it a lot. So, shout out to J-Rob, as Al Pearson said. Shout out to J-Rob and Henry getting this thing done. Let's make a championship run. So, we're going to definitely see. And, now we leading into, the next phase, which we still could get a certain pass rusher that's out there as well. But before we get into that, there was some more NFL news about 2 other guys that got some major money, which could, and this is something that Buck Rising of A to Z Sports had mentioned, on that, was that this could impact Jadeveon Clowney big time. You got, of course, on your left, you got Myles Garrett. Him and the Browns are closing in on a 5-year, $125 million contract extension, which could have close to, if not more than $100 million of guaranteed money for Myles Garrett. That is sick. That is completely sick. And just like that, Chris Jones and the Chiefs get a deal done, 4 years, $85 million with $60 million guaranteed. So, and just like and just like Derek Roberts mentioned, saying, how in the world do the Chiefs have this money to do it? because, and I need to see, I'm going to try to see if maybe a future show I break down Mahomes' contract. You know, a lot of people are saying it's a team-friendly contract. So, you know, it's 10 years, $500 million. You know, they say it's team-friendly. So they were able to take care of Chris Jones and gave him that big contract extension. But how does this play with a certain pass rusher out there by the name of Jadeveon Clowney that we're going to definitely have to talk about? So these are some big, big, big deals that are on the table with those two particular players. And both of them do deserve money, even though the Browns stuck with Myles Garrett with his suspension and, you know, the hit on the top of Mason Rudolph's head and all of that. But, I mean, Myles Garrett's a heck of a pass rusher. Very, very good. He had over, I want to say he had 12 and a half, 13 sacks last season. So, you know, he pretty much deserves the money with that. But maybe he can keep that under control. I'm going to go back and read a few comments. So, let's see. Titan Mafia is excited. Let's see. Billy Scott says Dak to the Patriots next year. I don't know about that. I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe Jerry Jones will do that. Titan Torch says, hope we can keep our linebacking core together. And remember, because of Derrick Henry's deal getting happening, you know, next year there's a franchise tag. You got guys like Jonnu, guys like Corey, guys like Jayon that's going to be on in a contract year this upcoming year. And then next season, of course, we're going to have to decide on Rashaan Evans' fifth-year option, which I'm pretty sure they're going to pick up. Obviously. Anthony Hayes, what's going on? Dale McElroy, what's going on? Said, now that Henry is signed, I think Clowney's domino will fall this week or next. We'll definitely see about that. Mr. Titan said, love the show. Chris, keep doing your thing. Thank you. I appreciate that. We got over 30 people watching. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Smash that like button for me. On Facebook says, run this stuff back versus KC. I hope so. Let's see. Derek Roberts says, if Corey Davis walks next year, maybe we'll be in decent shape cap-wise. Maybe we could use the Casey pick on that. Maybe see if we could move up. We'll definitely find out. You know, for example, Dale says in the tweet, most of the $25 million guaranteed is for Henry in the first 2 years. So if he declines for any reason, we can get out after 2 years. And it's smart. It's smart business by the Titans. The Titans got the better end of the deal, and it was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful how that was played out. So, I think a lot of people think that Clowney is coming. Billy Scott saying, you know, still got to get a physical, and that's the thing. So let's go into a little bit of Clowney Watch 2020. And, you know, Jadeveon Clowney is the big domino that's left out there on the free agent market. And I mean, you know, could Clowney do us a big favor? Absolutely. Again, we've talked about this at length, that Jadeveon Clowney would do so much for this defense. You got Vrabel, you got Shane Bowen, you got Jonathan Joseph. I mean, it makes too much sense. Again, just like I said the other night with Mr. Titan, it makes too much goddamn sense. It's got to work. But again, you know, it's got to be that Clowney wants to come here, and the Titans have to want him. And J-Rob has even said it himself. You know, J-Rob even said it himself. He said, look, I really want to get him in the building. He wants to get Clowney in to get a physical done. And so if we could get a physical done on Clowney and everything checks out, everything looks good, I think they sign him. I don't think Clowney leaves without a deal. I think something may already, and some people have said it could already be in place. We're just waiting on the physical to get done. So that's something that, you know, could definitely be a role in all of this. The physical is the main thing I think everybody is waiting on. Once you get the physical, then that is where everything is going to work itself out. I see Donnie Hayes on Facebook, tighten up. LaRon Ingram, tighten. Morocco Taylor, happy birthday to Morocco Taylor, by the way. My guy that be on it, especially with his workout, on it and everything. So, yeah, I got to change the title. Chris Frazier, what's going on? Let's see. Michael Snyder saying, run it back. Miss Margarita saying, what's up? That Derrick Henry deal, yes, he did get paid. Absolutely. So, and then Michael Snyder talking about how much do you think for Clowney? I mean, I would probably say maybe around 14 and a half might be what we're looking at. We're definitely going to try to find out. Let's see. Derek says there's a reason he's not signed. If we sign Clowney, hope he doesn't come with an ego and plays clean and not check out if things don't go well. Well, Clowney has already said he wants to play for a contender. He wants to play for a winner. He wants a shot at a title. And obviously, with J-Rob, with the familiarity, the way that the Titans are looking, he will be playing for a contender right now. No doubt about it in my mind. He's playing for a contender right out the gate for us. So he will be a difference maker in getting us past the Kansas City Chiefs, the Baltimore Ravens. So, I mean, Clowney could be a big, big piece of that. So that's what I'm thinking, but it does depend on the physical and the price tag. And I think it will only be a 1-year deal. I don't think it's going to go any further than that. Now, after that, maybe if he does well, we re-sign him for longer. We're definitely going to see. Dale McElroy says, outside of signing Clowney, number one concern is backup quarterback. Politics aside, I think we need to get Cap. I don't know. We'll definitely see about that. Backup quarterback is pretty important, and we do need a backup quarterback at some point. Because, I mean, you're leaving Logan Woodside and Cole McDonald to battle it out. And, I mean, if Ryan Tannehill goes down, that doesn't look good for anybody. But that's that on Jadeveon Clowney. I believe he's still going to come here. I still believe at 75% that Clowney will be a Titan. It makes too much sense. Too much sense. But now it is time to get to your favorite part of the show and mine. It is called, indeed, Pick My Brain. Pick my brain. So I want y'all to hit me up with some questions. Anything about the Titans, anything about Clowney, anything about Henry, anything like that at all. Hit me up and let's talk. Let's definitely talk about it. And look, y'all, I see a lot of y'all clowning me on my the title of the show. Everybody, I'm going to fix that. I made the title of everything before the show when I was working on making sure I had everything up for the show, so I didn't get a chance to change the title right off the bat. But I will fix that, and I will correct my error. Yes, Derrick Henry got a deal. Let's see. Joe says Vrabel will keep Clowney in check. No egos here in Tennessee. I definitely like that. Let's see. Billy Scott comes in and says, would you try to get Clowney this year or wait till next year for Ramsey? Ooh, that's a good one. Clowney this year or Jalen Ramsey next year? Well, I would go Clowney this year, and this is why. We're pretty set at the cornerback position. Now, the only way I would go after Jalen Ramsey is if, let's just say, Malcolm Butler doesn't pan out, or we can get out of that Butler deal, which I believe after this upcoming season, we could get out of the Butler deal if we want. We could get out of the Butler deal and be able to go after Ramsey if we want to. That's the thing. do we want to do that? That would be the question. That would definitely be the question. But I mean, we know Ramsey likes to talk trash. He has a big mouth, but also this is home for him here in Tennessee. I don't think he would have any problem coming back to Nashville at all. So I could see that. I just don't know if it'd be feasible. Pass rush helps the secondary, and we got Christian Fulton. You got Adoree Jackson. We have a lot of money tied up in that position as it is. That's just me. On Facebook, we got somebody saying, if Clowney signs with us, how many sacks you think both him and Landry will get? Well, I honestly think Landry's going over 10 sacks this year. I think it's about time because he went from 4.5 to 9 this year, and I think he's going to go 9. I'm going to say 12. I'm going to say 12 sacks for Landry. I'm going to go 10 for Clowney. I'm going to go, well, I won't say 10. I'll go with 9.5. Even though Vrabel knows how to get the best out of him, but it's the fact that the team, that offensive lines are going to pay so much attention to Clowney that is going to open up things for Landry. So that's why I think Landry gets the better part of that deal. Let's see. Derrick comes in saying, do you think the quarterback we drafted is better than Woodside if Tannehill goes down? One thing about this cat is that Cole McDonald has a heck of an arm. He has a hell of an arm, but he's got to control it. He's got to control that arm. He's got to control that arm, and he's got to work on his throwing motion. If he could do that, he could be dangerous good. He's got speed. He's like Marcus Mariota, but with a better arm. So, better arm, maybe a little bit more accuracy on the deep ball. So we're definitely going to see about that. But I think I like Cole McDonald over Woodside, to be honest. No disrespect to Woodside, but that's just me. Let's see. Joe comes and said, if you could only keep one linebacker, Evans or Brown. Ooh, that's a good one. Jayon has proven to be an all-pro type of linebacker. He can cover, he can blitz. He does all those things very well. Rashawn is big time in the run defense and is a natural leader in the middle of the secondary, in the middle of the defense. So, oh my God, that's a tough one. I'm going to have to say, I'm going to go with Jayon because it's not easy to find linebackers that are very good in coverage. You can find a good linebacker that can stuff the run, but I'm going to say Jayon if I had a gun to my head. So that's just kind of what I think about that. Al Pierce comes and says, is there any chance Clowney signs a multi-year deal as opposed to a one-year deal? I could see a 2-year deal maybe happening, maybe 2 years. Let's say 2 years, $32 million, and let's say $20 million guaranteed. I'll say something like that. Or 2 years, $32 million, maybe like 18, maybe 16, 17, 18 million guaranteed. That might be something that we could look for. That could be something around that. Because remember, with any contract, the guaranteed money is what you're looking at. The guaranteed money is what tells the story. All right, I think I'm going to have time for maybe 2 more questions. Joe said, thought you would say Evans. I'm like, yeah, I was thinking about it, but I like Jayon. Let's see. Chad Bagley coming in. How you doing, Chad? He says, who puts up bigger numbers, A.J. Brown or Derrick Henry? A.J. always open Brown or Derrick El Tractorcito Henry? Tractorcito Henry. I'm going to say right off the top of my head right now, Derrick Henry's going to put up more yards. But I think A.J. Brown is going to put up some good yards too. I think Derrick Henry is going to get to around 1,350, 1,400 yards. I think A.J. Brown gets about 1,150. That's what I'm thinking. So I definitely like that. What's up, Dash Stevens? What's going on? Let's see. And see, Derek Robinson said, do you see us use our new running back in packages? I could see where, he's a receiving back. So I could see where, what's up, Liddell? What's going on, my brother? I could see them using, set up a package for Darrington Evans. I could also see where they have Darrington Evans and Derrick Henry lined up together. You could definitely see that happening. So that's something that I would definitely go for. Dash Stevens says it's time to purchase a fresh King Henry light blue jersey. Well, that's what I got on right now. That's what I got on, my Derrick Henry jersey. Thanks to my lovely wife that she got for me. So, I definitely appreciate that. But I love Derrick Henry. I do. Let's see. Chad Bagley said we should run John out of the backfield some. Run against Houston was good. Actually, yeah, that was the run against Houston. That's what it was. A.J. Brown, that was against the Saints. That's right. So that is it for Pick My Brain. I appreciate y'all with the questions. That was some good stuff right there. And hold on, I think I got one more comment. Titan Anderson, what's going on, man? Says, it looks like he's got a live stream going on sooner or later. So what's up, Titan Anderson? Welcome in to that. So we're going to move on. We're going to move on a bit. So, yeah, Jameson saying glad to see Henry get paid. So, yeah, well-deserved. It was well-deserved. So now that we've picked the brain a little bit, now it is time to go back into round 4 of the high-low. So now we go into a round where early on there were a lot of picks, but now late not so many. But round 4, there are some decent names that came up on the draft list that they've had since 2000. So as some of you have known, that with this high-low series, I've started with picks in the last 20 years, since 2000. And we're talking about who, is the high, who's the boom, who really made a name for themselves as a Titan, and then also who is the low, the bust from every round. So now we're going into the 4th round. And so we're going to start in the year 2000. And you have in 2000, you had linebacker Peter Sermon from Oregon, who I do remember from special teams, and Bobby Myers, defensive back from Wisconsin. In 2001, you had Justin Aarons, wide receiver from Northern Illinois, who had 2 stints with the Tennessee Titans and was a very solid receiver. In 2002, there were 3 picks in that year with Rocky Boyman, who I believe now does ESPN radio for Cincinnati. In Cincinnati, I want to say, linebacker from Notre Dame, and Tony Beckham, defensive back from Wisconsin Stout, and Mike Eccles, defensive back from Wisconsin, who I don't remember. In 2003, we had defensive tackle Ryan Long from Washington State. I don't really remember him. 2004, we have defensive back Mike Waddell from North Carolina, and Bo Schobel, defensive end from TCU. Bo Schobel, I do remember a little bit. Waddell, I do remember that they drafted him, but he didn't really do much. In 2005, you got Roydell Williams, wide receiver from from Tulane. And one guy who did do some good for the Tennessee Titans, and that is big country tackle David Stewart from Mississippi State. And David Stewart, him and Michael Roos for a long time was the best duo of tackles in football, plain and simple. I mean, David Stewart held it down on the right side, so he could be a high pick for the high. In 2005, you got another pick in 2005, Vincent Fuller, defensive back from Virginia Tech. In 2006, another guy that could be nominated, Stephen Tulloch, linebacker from NC State, who had some very good years before moving on to Detroit, where he was a nice pickup for them. And Kyle Lowry, defensive back from Penn State. In 2007, you had Chris Harris, wide receiver from Florida State. And you had center Leroy Harris from North Carolina State, who started on that offensive line with David Stewart and with Michael Roos for quite a few years. In 2008, you had Stanford Keglar from Purdue, linebacker, and Lavelle Hawkins, wide receiver from Cal. Also, you had William Big Plays Hayes, defensive end from Winston-Salem State, who was a solid player, played for the Miami Dolphins as well, and I believe also played for the LA Rams too. In 2009, you had Troy Kropog, tackle from Tulane, and a gentleman that Mr. Titan had on his show recently, Gerald McGrath, linebacker from Southern Miss. Shout out to Titan Upload. That was a good interview that he had with Gerald McGrath. If you haven't checked that out, go check out Mr. Titan with Gerald McGrath. That was a very good show. And in 2010, you have Alteron Werner, defensive back from UCLA. And that was probably one of the bigger mistakes that the Titans made. And I think that was Rustin Webster. They did not re-sign Alteron Werner when they should have. And Tampa Bay gave him a low contract. And, he was able to play in Tampa Bay when they could have kept him in Tennessee. So I want to know what y'all thought of those first few picks from 2000 to 2010. Again, I'm putting them up. A couple of people that I thought about was Justin McCarron, David Stewart, and, of course, Stephen Tulloch as some possible candidates, and Leroy Harris as well. So on this, I want to know who y'all think was a good player that the Titans picked up in the fourth round in the beginning. I still have 2011 through 2020 coming up in just a bit. Let's see. Terrence says Clowney and wants insurance for a year. Zach says Stephen Tulloch was good. I do agree with that. AZ Mick comes out, says Tulloch was a great middle linebacker. Joseph Rodriguez says King Henry returns to his throne for the next 4 years. That's true. AZ Mick says Alteron Werner was a great Titan, but was a bust in Tampa Bay. That's true. Maybe should have stayed here. Al Pierce says Stephen Tulloch, Alteron Werner as highs. So I like both of those picks, but again, I wouldn't forget David Stewart, who was a stalwart on the right side of the offensive line for, I want to say, at least 5 years. He was on that offensive line. So we cannot forget about David Stewart and what he did on that offensive line. Now we'll go to the other side of the picks. Starting in 2011, you have running back Jamie Harper from Clemson. And also in 2011, you had Colin McCarthy, linebacker from the University of Miami. And he was a guy that I actually thought was going to do some good. I thought we might have found a true middle linebacker, but it didn't work out. In 2012, you had Cody Sensabaugh, defensive back from Clemson. In 2013, you got center Brian Schwenke from California. In 2014, you got Marquestin Huff, safety from Wyoming, and Daquan Jones, who has done some good, defensive tackle from Penn State. In 2015, you got Justin Fowler, fullback from Alabama, and Angelo Blackson, defensive tackle from Auburn. Now, in 2016, 17, and 18, no picks in those years. But in 2019, the Titans pick up Amani Hooker, safety from Iowa, and then they trade away their 2020 fourth round pick, and that was unfortunate and everything, but you still had some good players in this draft already. So after all of those picks, who did you like? Excuse me, y'all. Sorry about that. But let's see. Titans Mafia says David Stewart definitely a high. Werner, Tulloch, also good players. Parrish comes in and says Werner and Tulloch were best of the group. Parrish says also Stewart was solid. LGRW says I agree with Chad. Johnny was a better running back than Lewis. I do agree with that, definitely. Also, let's see, got some other comments. LGRW says, let's see, RG says sense of slaw. I remember that too. I said Sucksabah or sense of slaw. Yeah, he sucked no matter what you called him. With that. So LGRW says better Titans tackle duo, Stewart and Roos or Lawan and Conklin. For me, it is Stewart and Roos. Because Conklin can't pass protect other than his first year. And that is something that David Stewart did get better with, was pass blocking. And so that really helped both of them out in being the stalwarts that they are at the tackle position. And I'm talking about Michael Roos and David Stewart on that. Al Pierce says Daquan, Fowler, and Hooker are highs. With Hooker, we haven't really seen a lot yet. Dante Fowler, Justin Fowler is a fullback. So enough said on that. Even though Justin Fowler is a good fullback, it's the fact that he's a fullback. Very overrated position. Paris Sharkey said 2011 till now was blah. Daquan Jones is the best. Hooker is on his way. Let's see. RG says fourth round pick history not looking good overall. But like I said, there were a few good ones. You had Tulloch, you had Werner, you had David Stewart. Again, you've had some really good players. I'm putting up the second half. You got guys like a Daquan Jones. Amani Hooker is on his way. So I think there are a few picks there that I did definitely like. Let's see. RG said Daquan probably the best pick from here. Let's see. Daquan Jones looked like the only good fourth rounder. Hooker too early to say. McCarthy made a few plays, but team was terrible. That's true. Let's see. I was trying to take a look at some other stuff. But yeah, those are some good picks. So I'm going to definitely say my high has to be David Stewart, in my honest opinion. My high has to be David Stewart with Tulloch and Werner rounding out the top three. But I would have to say David Stewart is my high. My low would just have to be Cody Sucksabah. I have to say was the low. I mean, Sucksabah, he sucks. Sensabaugh sucks, man. And I mean, just getting burned every time around just didn't look good, period. So Cody Sensabaugh is my low. So I like some of the picks that we had, but I didn't really like a lot of the picks. But Cody Sensabaugh was the worst one ever. Ever. Cody sucks a slaw. So, now that we've done that, we are now going to get into the final part of our show, and that is we have a blue bombshell, and it also leads to a early shut your pie hole moment. And it is courtesy of this doofus. Now, for those of you who may not know who this doofus is, that is Jeff Schwartz, or shall I say Geoff Schwartz. And, he brought out a very interesting tweet talking about the Tennessee Titan fan base, which is pulling up in just a moment right here. He basically says, even though he got into a little argument with some Titan fans, he says, Titan fans are delusional. Titan fans are the most delusional fan base out there heading into 2020. It's so hilarious. Went 9-7, beat the Pats who needed me as a wide receiver, dominated the Ravens, good work, and then got blasted by the Chiefs. So his tweet set a lot of people off, myself included, but I didn't really go nuts about it because, I mean, who is he? What does he know when it comes to the Tennessee Titans? Nothing. And I mean, I'm not really going to give, Jeff Schwartz any more credit at all because he doesn't deserve it. He's just as bad as Adam Rank, his stupid tail. I mean, always having a bias or a hate against the Titans. Take a look at this tweet. This was when Ryan Tannehill got his deal. He says, by the way, deal is going to backfire for the Titans. Good for Tannehill getting money, but depending on the structure of the deal, it will be a mistake. I mean, this dude is just straight up hating on us, which a lot of the national media tends to do. They don't tend to give us much credit. They just want to, pick at us and things like that. So I wouldn't pay it no attention whatsoever. Shake it off, and we keep it pushing. Let's see. RG saying Jeff Schwartz is such a clown. I agree. Paris says he chose the Pats to beat us. Yeah, can't pay him no attention. He doesn't deserve that. Definitely. So I agree with that. And looks like somebody said it. We will show him. Titan Mafia says Adam stank. And I like this comment. LGRW says, went 9-7 with a CFL quarterback for 6 games and the worst field goal percentage since the 80s and a secondary decimated by injury. That's what he must have meant. I don't know what he meant. No idea. No idea at all. Al says, Geoff needs to go away. Who is he? Flush the toilet. I agree with that. Let's see. RG said the Henry deal wasn't smart football before the contract details came out. It was a great deal. I agree. It was a great deal. But, yeah. So, Jeff Schwartz, shut your pie hole. You don't know nothing. You ain't no Titan guy acting like you an expert. Who do you think you are? And some of these national pundits think they know everything. Like stupid, ugly Nick Wright from First Thing First, that albatross of a show. But you're going to have guys like that who just don't know nothing about the Titans, haven't watched a game of them, but think they know them. So that's bad journalism. So Jeff Schwartz, shut your pie hole. And on that note, I think with that note and with the energy of Derrick Henry, they're just, Titan Mafia said it. Embrace the hate and the disrespect. It's ammunition for us. And I agree 100%. It is ammunition and we are going to fire up. And guys, that just about does it. That will do it for tonight's edition of Titans in Truth. And I'm going to give a blue bombshell for my guy Joseph Rodriguez, as I'm going to play a song. I'm going to play what we should play for the sake of one man who has now got all the gold in NXT. He is now not only the NXT North American champion, he is also the NXT champion. And that is, of course, my guy, Mr. Keith Lee. And all y'all need to do is one simple thing. Bask.
For he is limitless.
All right, y'all. Embrace the hate. We finna do some damage this year. Yes, indeed. Adam Rank does need to be off of NFL Network because he stinks. He sucks. That much is true. And 16-0. I like the sound of that, King Isaac. But y'all, I'm going to holler at y'all. Good night. Tighten up. Love y'all. Thank you for your support. Spread the word. And I will holler at y'all next week for a brand new Titans in Truth.